Germany's domestic intelligence agency designated the whole AfD party as a confirmed right-wing extremist organization on Friday. The agency says the AfD threatens democracy due to its xenophobic views on ethnicity. It concluded that the party discriminates against non-ethnic Germans, denying them equal status, especially those from Muslim backgrounds, as Germany's Minister of the Interior, Nancy Faeser, explained.
Denn die AfD verfolgt erwiesenermaßen Bestrebungen gegen die freiheitlich-demokratische Grundordnung. Die AfD vertritt einen ethnischen Volksbegriff, mit dem ganze Bevölkerungsgruppen diskriminiert werden. Bürgerinnen und Bürger mit Migrationsgeschichte werden als Deutsche zweiter Klasse behandelt. Das widerspricht klar der Menschenwürdegarantie des Artikel 1 des Grundgesetzes. Ihre völkische Haltung zeigt sich in rassistischen Äußerungen, vor allem gegen Zugewanderte und Muslime. Das Bundesamt für Verfassungsschutz hat einen klaren gesetzlichen Auftrag, gegen Extremismus vorzugehen und unsere Demokratie zu schützen. Und dabei arbeitet es eigenständig.
The party reacted to today's decision, saying it is a serious blow to German democracy, pointing to the polls showing the AfD as the strongest force.
Und wir brauchen Disziplin.
The AfD stated that it will continue to defend itself legally against defamation. The decision follows a 3-year review of AfD actions, statements and extremist links. The AfD came second in February's general elections, ahead of the incoming junior coalition partner, the SPD. Parts of the AfD, like its youth wing, were already classified this way. Parliament could theoretically ask for the party to be dissolved, but this is considered highly unlikely.
No, Africans were not denied access to visit Pope Francis's body. A whole host of posts on X are alleging that the Vatican authorities prevented African citizens from approaching Pope Francis's body to pay their respects as he lay in state. The posts share a video of a black man in St. Peter's Basilica arguing with someone else off-screen. He's then escorted away by security while other visitors to the Vatican look on. The video is accompanied with captions saying that Africans were blocked from bidding farewell to Pope Francis, with some claiming that it amounts to racism. However, this isn't true. St. Peter's Basilica was open to all, with tens of thousands queuing to see his open coffin, including Africans. People were able to see the late Pope lying in state between the 23rd and 25th of April, according to news reports at the time. A reverse image search of a still from the video shows us that it was put online as late as the 22nd of April, a day before the lying in state began and the day after Pope Francis's death. This is despite even certain news outlets claiming that the event shown in the video occurred while the Pope's body was on display to the public. The reverse image search also takes us to local Italian news reports, which were also published on the 22nd of April. These say that the man appeared to bypass security checks and the large queue of the faithful who had been lining up to bid a figurative farewell to the Bishop of Rome before the lying in state began. Community notes on certain X posts also say that the man is known to people living in the area, and that he often causes a disturbance but is ultimately harmless. There are no credible sources suggesting that anyone was denied access to see his body on the grounds of their country of origin or the colour of their skin, including a lack of any such announcement from the Vatican itself. For more investigations and fact checks, take a look at our website, euronews.com.
Over 19 million Romanians are set to go to the polls on Sunday, where they will cast their vote on one of the 11 candidates registered in the presidential race. Opinion polls suggest far-right candidate George Simion, who is the leader of the opposition Alliance for Uniting Romanians, is currently the frontrunner. 3 other candidates are also polling strongly: Bucharest Mayor Nicu Șordan, Crin Antonescu, the pro-EU coalition government's single candidate, and Victor Ponta, a former prime minister. Behind them is Elena Lasconi, the leader of the opposition Save Romania Union Party.
The favorite to move here to the Cotroceni Palace, George Simion, avoided debates and didn't take part in any. Victor Ponta, also a candidate hoping for the second place, attended only one debate, but not the final one.
Simion nu participă la dezbateri pentru că asta l-ar putea defavoriza. pentru că nu luptă pentru locul întâi, el are asigurat. Trebuie să răspundă unor întrebări care sunt dificile și care ar putea să-l coste voturi importante. În schimb, pentru plutonul de 4 candidați, în care se află și doamna Lasconi, lucrurile pot evolua.
An audience study showed that the televised debate had a significant impact on viewers. Some candidates rely more on traditional media, while others lean on social media instead.
Este evident că rețelele sociale joacă un rol important în informare și dezinformare, sunt folosite în mod diferit de candidați. Unii apelează mai mult la media tradițională, alții apelează masiv la rețelele sociale. Este ceea ce face George Simion. George Simion este de departe cel care conduce pe online campania, dar este o caracteristică a liderilor de extremă dreaptă.
Romania was supposed to elect a new head of state late last year. However, the Constitutional Court annulled the 2024 presidential elections as there were suspicions of foreign interference in the electoral process. The legality of the campaign of ultranational candidate Calin Georgescu was also questioned. Just days before this year's new first round of elections, a judge overturned the Constitutional Court's decision to revoke the 2024 elections, but this decision was quickly overturned by the Romanian High Court of Justice.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says the minerals deal signed with the United States is a truly equal agreement. Zelensky says the version of the deal signed on Wednesday is significantly more advantageous to Ukraine than previous versions offered. The Ukrainian leader says the new text was a result of weeks of discussions.
Угода значно змінилась в процесі підготовки. Тепер це дійсно рівноправна угода, яка створює можливість для інвестицій в Україну, доволі вагомих, а окрім того, ще й для суттєвої модернізації виробництв в Україні та, що не менш важливо, модернізації юридичних практик в нашій державі.
Zelensky says the new agreement stipulates that Kyiv is under no obligation of debt for previous U.S. assistance. He added that the deal, yet to be ratified by Ukraine's parliament, is now a true partnership with a foundation for both countries to make money and financially benefit.
В угоді немає боргу і створюється фонд відновлення, який буде інвестувати в Україну і заробляти саме тут. Це робота разом з Америкою і на справедливих умовах.
Residents of the capital Kyiv have had mixed reactions.
Я думаю, що така угода, з одного боку, вона потрібна Україні, бо треба буде відновлюватися після війни. Мабуть, якщо її підписали, то наші фахівці все ж таки якось порівняли плюси і мінуси. Я сподіваюся, що це буде на користь.
Я жахливо ставлюся до того, що наші людські ресурси на війні просто так м'ясо, за те, що наша земля – це просто розмінна монета в цьому світі, за те, що ми не маємо свого захисту, а ми полагаємося на когось.
The deal has been hailed as a remarkable achievement by officials on both sides. The U.S. is expected to gain access to critical Ukrainian minerals, which U.S. President Donald Trump has been eyeing as a form of repayment for aid his country has given to Kyiv. The UK's Football Association has announced that transgender women will no longer be allowed to compete in women's football in England. The decision follows a Supreme Court ruling last month that redefined the term woman to exclusively those born biologically female. Some former athletes were pleased by the announcement.
I'm obviously extremely pleased, that our young girls and our women are going to get their sport back again, which is free from males. Nothing has actually changed. The Equality Act at the Supreme Court 2 weeks ago was clarified. It wasn't changed, it was clarified. And biology has always been the same. The science hasn't changed either.
Critics have slammed the FA for acting on a court ruling they believe is unscientific.
The British Medical Association have already said that the Supreme Court ruling is scientifically illiterate. And, anyone who's played women's football knows that we all have a wide variety of bodies. What we really want from the FA is more support for young women playing football. We've been asking for years for more money, more support, more initiatives to support young women into football. And instead, time and energy is being devoted to exclude trans people from football.
The new ban is set to go into effect from the 1st of June.
Are Europeans afraid of economic headwinds? A new study says that despite global economic turbulence, most Europeans aren't going to hold back on leisure spending. Around 70% want to tick off a bucket list experience this year. Travel and tourism lead the way, with 89% choosing them as top priorities. A third of consumers assign a specific budget to that, over 1,000 euros. For those craving more than just one big moment, the other priorities are going to be outdoors, food, films and family-related experiences before live music events. Among Europeans, Poles and Romanians are the most eager to turn their dreams into plans, while Gen Z is the most hedonistic generation, as nearly half of them plan to check off 2 or more bucket list experiences. They say they'll finance them by cutting on weekly food shopping and even transportation costs. In general, many Europeans will try to save up instead of splurging on luxuries. 40% will be cutting back on clothing, 38% on luxury treats and 32% on gadgets.